Hi, let's talk about the simulation options for a little bit. Let's create a square emitter and a hemisphere and just move it down a little bit. So, um, you have a basic scene, you want to simulate this. You hit simulate and you see that the frames are calculated and the square emitter's particles are interacting with the hemisphere. So, um, next to the simulate button there is an arrow where if you click that you see three options: fluid dynamics, object dynamics, and then options. The fluid dynamics, this means that it's enabled. So right now let's turn this up. If you reset it and you simulate, then you see it just loading, but after that it's not calculating anything. So no fluid dynamics is calculated. If you turn that on and then reset, then it's gonna keep simulating. Right now the object dynamics is turned off. So a lot of times you want to optimize the scene, so you don't want the RealFlow to think about the object dynamics because you don't have any rigid bodies or anything set up in the scene. So you just want to turn this off, and that makes the scene a little bit go faster. Now to optimize the scene better, you go to options, and here you have options to make your scene go faster. First of all, you have the general options. You have the frame per sec. So if you work on movies, then you use 24 frame per sec, and commercials or in US they are 30 frame per sec. And this is actually a pretty useful tool if you want to speed up or slow down water or fluids. It depends on the shot. And when you calculate the fluids, even though you speed it up with the frame per sec or slow it down with this frame per sec, it creates frames. So when you load it back to your preferred 3D application, then it loads every frame. It loads a mesh sequence or particle sequence. So so your fluid is gonna be faster, but um, it behaves like it behaves a little bit out of word, so non-realistic, but it's art directable, uh, because you can't, of course you can't animate this. You can just set it, but you can stop it anytime. So let me show you. So right now you have 24 frame per sec, then you set it to 12. That means if you sim it, the particles will go faster. Like in one frame they go the double distance. So it was going like this, and then they sped up, so you can see this big jump. I play it, go, and then they start going faster, so they go double jump. You can do these little tricks that you like you stop the sim and then you change the frame per sec and then you slowly speed it up. There's no other good way. You can't really plug in a curve, but yeah, but you saw that you can speed up the fluid or slow it down if you put a higher number. Now threads, that means right now I have only one thread, so in this computer I have 8. Whoops, I pressed enter, so it disappeared. That means it accepted the input. And this is how many processors you want to use. You can limit the processors if you want to run 2 RealFlows or something like that. Or you don't have, like, basically you don't have enough licenses or something, then it's going to use only as much licenses you have. And then integration. So for the fluid simulations, the particle simulations, and the grid simulations, you use adaptive. The fixed is for RealWave, but it's fixed now, so adaptive will work for RealWave too. Minimum and maximum substeps. Minimum substeps, you don't really want to change this. It's really rare that you have to change it. And maximum substeps, that's a big thing. On default in your RealFlow is going to be 333, but that's too much. Disappeared again. I usually start my scenes with like really low, not too low, but like 30 substeps, and that should be enough for most collisions. If you're seeing crashes or stop simulating, or the fluid goes through the objects, then of course you have to increase. So you just, okay, let's just simulate it. It goes through. Occasionally, like RealFlow 5 doesn't do this anymore, but RealFlow 4 had this problem that if it reaches the I'm not sure exactly, but I think the sub steps are not enough, then it just crashed. But at that point you can just back up a couple frames and then set up your sub steps to like 40 and then continue simulation. You want to keep it as low as possible because if you set it up high initially, then your scene is gonna be really slow. Okay, and the last one is the rigid body solver. Here you can change what quality simulation you want with the rigid bodies. So you want to do just a test with the low, medium, and then you want to refine it, and the final simulation you want high for the high collision quality. So basically this is it. You should keep in mind, well, you want to make sure that this one is your the same as your 3D application frame per sec, so you don't have a confusion with the other 3D artists, and you don't have to resim. That happens a lot, that I forget to change this, and the project is 30 frames per second, I use 24, and then we have to resim it. And try to keep this as low as possible. Start around 30 and then go up higher and higher. I usually don't even go above 200. Okay. Oh, actually, high viscosity simulations require higher substeps. Keep that in mind. Check out my website, hyperorganic.com, and shoot me an email.